Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ IAS English. My name is Praveen Mishra and today we are going to discuss this topic, that is what is presidential reference? A topic which is often seen in news these days and on which we do lack the simple clarity, or basically the constitutional clarity here is needed from the perspective of the polity, okay, that is GS paper 2 as well as your prelims examination, right? So what is presidential reference? Here we go. So whenever there is any particular act or enactment or a statute, basically a legislation or a law that has been passed by Parliament, and it has created some widespread level of controversy regarding its usage and implications. So at that time, President of India can seek advice anytime from the Supreme Court of India under Article 143 of the Indian Constitution. So whenever we talk about presidential reference, it is basically in simple terms referring to this particular point that we have already understood in the chapter of judiciary, that is known as advisory jurisdiction. Okay, what is this? Advisory jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. What is the article number? Article 143. So advisory jurisdiction is equals to what? It is equals to the presidential reference. They both are same. So whenever there is a law, okay, that has created some widespread controversy regarding its usage, implications, or legislation or whatever, right? So at that time, President of India can seek advice from whom? From Supreme Court of India. Okay, so this is what is known as advisory opinion of the Supreme Court as well. Okay, so basically this provision establishes the Supreme Court's advisory jurisdiction, which is exclusive only and only for the president. Remember, only and only president can seek advice from the Supreme Court. It's not Prime Minister, Council of Ministers, Cabinet, Governor, any other body, constitutional or non-constitutional whatsoever. They do not have the authority to seek advice. It is just the President of India. Okay, then the types of questions that can be referred. So under Article 143 Clause 1, that is simply the substantial question of law. Substantial question of law as in simply, once again, the very same law that has created some controversy or that has sparked some public outrage. For example, the laws related to NRC and CAA. Those were the laws which created some widespread public outrage. Though presidential reference was not made directly at that time, but yes, just giving you for an example, like CAA, what we have seen that it created riots inside the National Capital Territory of Delhi. Right, so that was a particular law that could have invoked the presidential reference, but ultimately no need was felt at that time. Right, so any substantial question of law under Article 143 Clause 1, and then comes the next one, Article 143 Clause 2. If there is any question that has arisen out of any pre-constitutional agreement, as in those agreements which we signed during the time period of British government, during the time period, simply speaking, British Raj. So any any pre-constitutional agreement, that is from the time period before 1950, okay, any agreement, any covenant, any sanad, any treaty, okay, that is still right now going on. Like for example, the Treaty of Sagoli between India and Nepal. Right now also we are following the provisions of the very same treaty. We have got, the Companies Act, okay, we have got the IPC and CRPC. Right now we have upgraded it, but they are coming since the imperial time as well, that is from the British rule time period as well, right? So any particular question that arises out of any pre-constitutional treaty, covenant, agreement or sanad. Okay, so in that case also under Article 143 Clause 2, President of India can seek advice from Supreme Court. Remember, who can seek advice from whom? It is President from Supreme Court. President of India can seek advice from Supreme Court. Supreme Court will not ask advice from President. President can ask advice from Supreme Court, and that is why it is termed as what? Advisory jurisdiction. And now, let's say President has asked the advice and Supreme Court has given the advice as well. So is the advice now binding on the President of India? So what will be the nature of advice? So in any case, advice is only advice, okay, and it is literally not binding on the president, right? That's it. Remember, advice, simply exchange of views, exchange of words, exchange of opinions, that's it. Okay, president is not bound to act on the advice rendered by the Supreme Court. Now here is the question, here is the next twist. Is it binding on the Supreme Court to render the advice whenever asked by the President. So what will be the answer whenever asked by the President? So answer is yes and no, both. So both the statements, okay, both the answers are valid here. Yes for this point, okay, that is Article 143, Clause 2. Any question arising out of the pre-constitutional treaty. And no for Article 143, Clause 1. That is any question arising out of any substantial question of law. You would be thinking, no, sir. Yes should be for this one and no should be for this one. As substantial question of law, it is more severe, more intense in nature. Right? That's correct. But as per the Constitution, Article 143, Clause 1. Okay? Supreme Court may give the advice or may refuse to give the advice as well. So it is literally not binding on the Supreme Court. But on the other one, that is any question arising out of any pre-constitutional treaty or anything, okay, the Supreme Court is bounded by the constitutional provisions as well. Okay, so simply under Article 143 Clause 1, it is not binding on Supreme Court, but any question related to Article 143 Clause 2, it is binding on Supreme Court. Okay, so remember. But advice is what? Advice is absolutely advice, as in simply not binding in nature. And now, the key facts. As per Article 143, okay, how many judges should be sitting if any kind of an advisory jurisdiction is to be given? So this provision is mentioned under Article 145 Clause 3, and it has clearly stated that at least 5 judges should be sitting, okay, before rendering any kind of an advice to the President. So how many judges there at least needed? So this is the question of Constitution. So Constitution bench is needed as well. So as per the provisions of the Constitution, any particular judgment that is related to the Constitution, so the Constitution bench should be minimum having how many judges? 5 judges. So it is once again reiterated under Article 145 Clause 3, that is, okay, whenever Supreme Court is rendering advice to the President under the advisory jurisdiction, so 5 judges should be there at least, right, in one bench. So where this is mentioned, Article 145 Clause 3. And from where we have got the inspiration of this? We have got the inspiration of the advisory jurisdiction through the Government of India Act 1935, where the Governor General was allowed to refer a legal question, any kind of legal question, to the federal court. So from where is the inspiration or motivation coming, or basically the reference coming through? So it is through the Government of India Act 1935. And now, what is the significance of the presidential reference? So yes, it is having some significances. Like first example, we have the constitutional interpretation of rules. So it defines clearly what is the role, what is the rule, what is the regulation. Apart from that, yes, it provides the reaffirmation of the democratic structure, as in the division of power, the decentralization and diffusion of powers. And finally, yes, it provides some procedural certainty as well in case any of them are existing. And finally, let's talk about any kind of challenge that is having here in the presidential reference. So the challenges are far more bigger. The first challenge, not binding in nature. Though advisory jurisdiction is there, but it is obviously not binding in nature, it is absolutely advice. And apart from that, yes, unclear threshold. We do not have the actual definition of what is actually the substantial question of law. Okay, so unclear threshold, what actually creates the substantial question of law? And finally, the biggest problem is what? The timing. No timeline for the response. So it is like President asks the opinion of the Supreme Court. So Supreme Court can provide it in 1 day, okay, week, month, year, and so on, right? So no timeline has been prescribed by the constitution as well, that how much time minimum to maximum should be taken by the Supreme Court before rendering any kind of an advice. Okay guys, so I hope this is the presidential reference, this is all clear in your mind now, and you would be having with no doubts. And in case you are having any such doubts related to the topic, please do let me know into the comment section, and I shall surely take your doubt into the consideration and shall solve it at the earliest possible time. And everyone, remember, if you are a serious UPSC CSE aspirant, we have got for you the GS Foundation P2I batch that is named as Resolution. That basically means the commitment, the dedication, the promise that we are doing to you, that we are giving to you, that we will try our best to support you and convert your dream into reality, that is from a common person to an IAS, IPS or an IFS officer at the earliest possible time. So guys, remember, 1,000+ hours of live classes are here to be given to you under this resolution batch, with access to the recorded lectures, and yes, taught by the greatest educators of this nation, from Shashank Tyagi sir to Bhuvan Jha sir to Alok Ojha sir, Shubham Sagar sir, Ankit Singh sir. Okay, we have got, Chandan Sharma sir with us. We have got, greatest personalities. We have got Prashant Tiwari sir. We have got, these names, those who are in themselves the institutions, right? So guys, quickly grab this opportunity, because this resolution batch will be also provided to you with the prelims test series, with the mains test series, as well as the interview guidance program. Okay, and the subscription plans, we have got the gold, platinum and diamond subscription plans, and they're starting with just rupees 9,999 only. But you will get the discount, maximum possible discount, only when you have applied this promo code. And remember the promo code, guys, it is PRV Live. Okay, so in bolds and capitals, remember this promo code. Before purchasing any subscription on the StudyIQ platform, you need to apply this promo code PRV Live, and you will get the maximum possible discount. And before you leave, guys, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button of the StudyIQ IAS English. You know it very well. This is a channel dedicated with just one single motto. That is to provide you all the quality and quantity of the content. And please to hit the subscribe button and never miss an update from the channel. And in case you wish to connect with me, so the very same promo code is also my Telegram channel, that is PRV Live. All the notes and PDFs you can get here. And apart from that, you can scan the QR code as well. Okay, everyone. So thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. Good day. Take care. See you soon. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.